Welcome back, guys. Um, I hope you have started working on the network file. So, some of you have contacted our technical team as well, and we have provided some uh, answers regarding the problem that they have faced. So, if you have any specific issues, you can mention them. Else, you can continue with the network setup. Uh, which describe on the this page. Okay, so if you go to the agenda, now we have talked about the lab setup, and we have to go with network setup. So that one also I have explained. Uh, so you have to open this page, and according to the instructions given, you have to complete the configuration of each and every device. Uh, uh, all the instruction that you need to configure are in this web page. So you better start working on that one. If you face any difficulties, uh, you can let us know. So even this VLAN segment also have been done for you. You just need to configure the VPCs. Those commands are also given here, how to configure that one. Vpcs, I already shown you how to do that one. Even for IPv6, you have to use the command IP, the same thing, IP address and mask and the default gateway. So I again remind you where the XY, you have to use a number and you have to continue using that number. Okay, if you use one, everywhere where the XY is, you have to use one. Here in IPv6, you have to use 0, 1. Okay, because you just can't use one here. You have to use 0, 1. But here you can use one. For IPv6, you have to use 0, 1 if you are going to use one. But if you're going to use two, here 0, 2 you have to use. So we can start working on the devices. Okay. So you can, if someone can share the screen, if you are working on that one, I think it's better. So others also can get a kind of idea. Anyone who are okay with Cisco iOS, have experience, you can share your screen and show us the work that you are currently doing. Anyone? I would like to share their screen. Your working screen, actually, your desktop, you can share with us if you are working on, so others also can view. Yes, uh, all the configuration you have to do. There is nothing in the routers. Okay, the routers are empty actually. There are no anything configured on the routers. Okay, so you have to go through the workshop page and you have to configure all the devices. That is how we have organized this workshop. So whatever the commands that are listed in the website, you have to run them on the routers after connecting to the router. So if anyone who are okay with Cisco iOS, if you can share the screen and show us how you are progressing, I think it's good. Others also can get idea from that one, because if I do the same thing again, I think it's not going to be a good thing, because I have already done it and I showed you all the configurations are with me. So I need one or two of you can share your screen and share your knowledge with the others to how to configure that one. I think there are many participants that who are okay with Cisco iOS. Any volunteers? That's good if you can share screen and continue the working. It seems like no one is going to share the screen and continue. So may I name some of you, or you? Are there any volunteers? Because the main idea of this workshop is to uh, giving idea for the beginners and to work with this one. Okay. Okay. Vijaykanth has shared or Darshan. Okay. Vijaykanth is showing his screen. I think all of you can see that one. Thank you, Vijaykanth, for sharing. Okay, Vijaykanth has done the configuration on fact 1. Okay. The IP addresses are the IP addresses are given in the website. Can you open the web page so I can show you? Uh, uh, yeah, so those are the IPs that you have to assign. So that's why I'm telling you the XY you can change. What any number means, you know that the valid numbers for the IP addresses are between 1 to 255. But you can use any number as XY, but remember the number that you used, you have to continuously use the same number. Where the XY, you have to use that number. So that's why I told you it's better if you can use 1. Okay, so if you are using 10.1, yeah, yeah, 10, not 10 dot, yeah, 10.1.0.1. That is what you have to assign. 10.1.0.1. Okay. For the IPv6 address, you have to use 2001, because just 1 is not enough. XY here you have to use 01. For the IP version 4, you can use 1. For the IP version 6, you can use 01. Where the XY, you have to put 01. Yeah.
IPv6 is this one, no?
Yeah, that is IP version 6.1. For the you can replace XY with 01.
Okay.
Yeah, 01. XY, you can replace it 01. For the IP version 4, you can directly replace the XY with number 1. You can use tab key. After typing half of the command, if you press tab, it will automatically filled out. Only for the keywords. Other things you have to type. So I believe others are also configuring this one, because without having the network diagram, you can't even log into the firewall tomorrow, because we have allocated more time for this network configuration. Actually, we have allocated 2 sessions this evening and tomorrow morning for this network configurations, because that is very important. Otherwise, this network will not going to work. That's why. if the network is not working, all the other remaining sessions will become useless because LibreNMS, pfSense, those things will not going to work. Yeah, you have to you have to change that one to 0 1. 0 1. Yeah, 0.
Same thing we have to do the next pack 2, no?
Not the fact 2. That is also you have to configure in the fact 1. You can see the prompt is fact 1. The first now you the whatever you configured is that link to go to the firewall. That is IP that interface, but there's another interface that goes to fact 2 router. So
Okay, but here apply the setting in pack 2 and pack 1 building in the BLT1 as well. You said earlier this.
yeah,
have-
that's yeah.
I have
Those
done
things.
only those things pack 1, no?
Yeah. All the things
I
that
didn't finish these things for pack
yes.
2 and pack 1.
Okay, you have to do the that things into that one, other routers as well. While you are working, while you are changing to the other router, you better save whatever things that you have done in case of power failure. Maybe the content that you have done maybe not there. So always better to save. The command is write or copy run start.
Okay. This is okay now, no?
Yeah. Okay. You continue with the other devices as well. Is there anyone who would like to share the screen while Vijay Kantan is working with that one?
I couldn't load that pack 2. I
Just
don't know what.
just show me. Just press 2. Just type enter. Press enter. The prompt is not working.
No.
Close it again and we'll see. Yeah, it is running. No. Dynagen. Fact 2 running.
Pack 2 running. Yes.
Yeah, 2001. No port.
Yes.
We'll see. We'll go to the party.
Two thousand one, right?
Yeah.
Telnet.
No. You do SSH. You did SSH. Close that one.
Okay.
001 port 2001. From that one, select other.
Telnet.
Yeah, telnet.
Okay.
Okay, no.
Yes.
Okay. I hope others are also within this screen. Uh,
Here name server 10 2 or 1. Oh,
Others also remember where the XY, if you use one number, you have to continuously use the same number for the entire lab. Okay, so XY you can't change. For the IP version 4, it is 1, but for the IP version 6, it is 0, 1.
hello. Hello.
Yes,
So,
Vijaykanth.
what's the meaning of this 0?
Yeah, line VTY 04. Actually, when you configure, this is enabling
SSH.
telnet. Oh,
Oh,
SSH.
SSH
Yeah,
port.
yeah,
Yes.
telnet SSH. So it means the number of users who can simultaneously SSH into your device. So 04 means now, if you type 0 question mark, just remove the 4
Yes.
and then put the question mark. And you can see it support up to how many? 903, no?
Oh,
The,
yes.
the simultaneous connection, number of connection. So if you put four here, it means that it allow only five
for you.
people, yeah,
Five people. Yeah.
five people to log into this one using SSH.
0 to 4, no?
Yeah, 0 to
Range.
4 means, yeah, yes, how many people, how many sessions. Okay.
Login through local, no? This.
Login local, yes, because we have
Local.
created the local database, local user
The
name and password.
users cannot log in via WAN, no?
No, they can, but they have to use the local username because you have already created the username called admin. Only that is the local database. Okay, here login local means whenever you are going to SSH into this router, you have to use a username and password which is created inside this router. It means currently only admin can use login to this one because you have only created one user.
Yes.
But if you create multiple users, those usernames also can be used to SSH into this router.
Okay. The location faculty 1, no? Is faculty 2, no?
No, that's not a that is not a problem. You have to use that one, faculty one, because here there is on there is only for to show where the SNMP server is. So that is not going to impact on that one. SNMP server means LibreNMS.
Actually, that is connected to the fact 1.
Fact one.
No?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Vijaykanth, can you show me the IP information? Can you type show IP interface brief? Show IP interface brief. Show, you have to put show. Yeah. So this is fact 2, no? The router is fact 2
Yes,
actually.
yes.
Yeah. Can you open that web page? So I think if you look at that one, you use that one that need to be configured on actually on fact 1, no? 10.0.6. Look at the web page again, because that is the interface that you have to configure
Fact
on
two. This
link
fact
to
two.
fact 2. That is link to fact 2, which is you have to connect. You check the prompt. Check the prompt. Prompt is fact 1. Not there. Not there.
This fact one, no.
Yeah. Second one also fact 1. Not that one.
Link to fact two. Okay,
Fact
okay.
2. Yeah. That is
Here again, fact one. Sorry.
yeah. I think you got the issue. Okay.
Done
You
it.
don't need to change the entire thing. You keep it like that. When you configure fact 2, just change the value. That's all. Okay. You don't want to remove that one. You configure, if you want, you can configure whatever the details on the fact 2, and you can go to the fact 1. So fact 2, what you have to do is that is 0.5. Just change it to 0.5. That's all you have to do. The same IP you have to change into 0.5.
This one, no.
Yeah, that is the one. Same interface. You have to go to the configuration mode.
Yes. Overlaps. Is overlapped with fast Ethernet 00. Why?
Sorry, it's all apps, no? What is the IP address 0.0.5? You are configuring fact 2, 10.1.0.5. Now you are configuring interface 0.1. No, the previously you have configured 0.0. Okay. Now 0.0 and 0.1, they say both are in the same network. That is why previously you configured 0.0.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, okay, that is the problem. Now best thing is you go to the type there. Here you type interface fast ethernet 00. Type that one, interface fast ethernet 0.0. Okay, enter. Type no IP address. We remove that one because 00 is not needed to configure, no?
Yes.
Fact 2. So here you type no IP address.
No IP.
No IP address, yes. And also no Ipv6 address. So it will remove that one. Then you can go to the 0.1, interface fast ethernet 0.1. And you can recall the commands using arrow keys. 0.5.
Link to fact one, no? This fact
Yeah.
2, fact 1.
There is link to fact 1. Yes, that is fact 1 and IP address 0.5. Enter.
And 10.1.05, no?
Yeah. Then IPv6 address also you can assign. then no shutdown. You can, yes, that's it. You just write WR. It is equivalent to copy. Then you can go back to the fact1 and configure the IP address.
This thing.
Yeah.
Again, no.
Yes. You can type do write if you want to save when you are in the configuration mode. You can
Do
put
write.
do in the privilege mode write, but if you want to run it on from any other prompt, type do then write, then it will work.
Okay.
Or any privilege mode command you can run on configuration mode with the do keyword.
Like that, no?
Yeah, in the configuration mode.
Yes. Again, this one, no? This router.
Yeah, the basic setup need to be done on all the 3 route switches. Not that one. Whatever the things that I have colored in green. Green are the layer 3. Yeah, multi-layer things are there.
Fact 1, fact 2, this one also.
Yeah, those are the routers. It means they are not multi-layer switches, but those are the routers actually. It is run on port 2002. Something happened.
Sorry, but 2002.
Mr. Damyanta has asked a question in the chat. I believe you got the answer. I have explained what is the meaning of that VTY. So I believe, Mr. Damyanta, you got the you clarified, that you can change the number of simultaneous connection with the numbers given there. 0 to 5 means 6 connection, 0 to 4 means 5 question, like that one.
Hello.
Yes,
Hello.
Jagan.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. What's the IP for this?
FRAC1 BLD1.
Yes.
FRAC1 BLD1. I think it will
A
have a,
table?
yeah.
There's one table, no?
No, FRAC1 BLD2. It has the IP 10.1.24, but you have to create a VLAN for that one. So until that VLAN segment part comes, I think you can't assign IP address for that one, because there is no any interface for that one. We are not going to assign any IPs for the interface. Okay, you have to create a VLAN, and I think
VLAN then assign the IP for that VLAN.
Yeah. When we are going through continuously, I believe you will get that one.
From key, no? Continuing from key.
Yeah. After you configure that part.
Now I have to go to fact one. No.
Yes. Yes.
Open source path first one is one OS.
Yes. We have to configure OSPF.
Why you are preferring this one?
Sorry.
Why you are preferring this algorithm?
Yeah, I think normally
Anything special?
I think in the most of the universities they are using OSPF as the internal routing protocol.
Router ID is new IP, no? 10.
Actually,
One.
it's not a you have to give the route ID in the format of IP address, but
Yes,
that is
yes.
not that is not actually IP address, but you have to type it
Yes,
in that.
ID like the IP address.
Same
That's
format.
okay.
Okay.
But this is not IP, no?
No, that is not IP. That is a ID that we use to identify the router. Because when you are working with the OSPF, you have to know who are the neighbors that are connected. So
Yes.
the neighbors are identified using the ID.
It's area 2 means.
Yeah, because when we are configuring OSPF has a concept of areas. So normally routers are belong to areas. Okay, normally, so that is why. So you have to specify which area this router is below.
You
Okay.
mean this area means what? Here, point out any area. Oh?
Yeah. We all the routers are in the same area here. So because if the area is different, they will not have the neighbor relationship. Okay, so there are some.
Area 2 means what do you mean this area 2 here?
Yeah, you can't find area 2 in this diagram actually. That is the concept that comes with the OSPF. When you put a router when you're configuring OSPF, the router need to be in some kind of a area. So normally we divide the network into areas. So that is some requirement that you have to do with OSPF. Otherwise, we are not dividing the physical network into parts. It is concepts comes with the OSPF. So otherwise the routers need to have something called neighbor relationship. Okay,
Okay.
to specify that one, we have to put it into the same area.
If I put one, what's the any
The problem
problem?
is, because other routers are also in the same area. Okay, that's why we have to put. If you conflict that one, the routing information will not going to be exchanged. So it will become somewhat difficult to make the routing work. Okay.
This number any meaning? The 2, 1.
Yeah. That's a now that number is very important because you have to put that number correctly.
Okay.
Okay.
IP route is 002.0.0.2 this range, no?
Yes.
This
Yeah,
is
yeah.
a router IP.
Yeah. Because there is a next hop where this is actually this is called default route. So when you are giving the default route, you have to mention which is the next hop. So you have to specify that correctly. So there that need to be 10.1.0.2.
Okay, zero. This here, right.
Yeah,
One this router, two that pack two, no?
yeah.
Yes. Okay, I understood that. This pack one, okay. This unique cast routing. In IPv4, IP routing, here IPv6 unique cast routing, no? The keyword.
Okay. Yes, IPv is unicast routing because you have to enable IPv6 on router. Otherwise, IP6 routing is not working by default. So you have to enable IPv6 routing.
Yes.
That is why you have to type that command.
Yes. Earlier, same ID, no?
Yeah,
This is also same ID.
yeah,
Okay.
same.
What is the meaning? The redistribute connected.
Redistribute connected means there is something when it comes to routing that you have to distribute whatever the connected networks to other routers. Okay, so now we are using default routes as well, no? So they need to be distribute to other routers as well. So we are using that command and we force routing to distribute whatever the connected networks to the other routers as well.
Okay. This as in the routing code, no? This.
Yeah. So those commands will enable routing on those interfaces.
Yes. Is 1 2 area 1 1 2 no?
Yes. The first command enable IP version 4 routing. The second
This is
command enable IPv6
IPv6.
routing. You can type do right there. Then you can move to the faculty 2 and you can do the same thing. Same thing means the commands are a bit different, but again, you are enabling routing on that one.
This one, no?
Yes, you have to do it in the fact 2.
Yes. Hello?
Yes, Jacob.
Hello? Oh, yes. If I would by mistake here 1, right? 10.1.0.1,
Yeah,
right? If I
yeah,
by mistake I put 1, but
yeah.
I complete everything and write. What can I do?
It means you type there one.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, actually, when you execute these routing commands, okay. So after that, you are typing the wildcard mask. Okay, so wildcard mask means um, when you are enabling routing, you have to specify which network that you are going to enable.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can use the IP address as well. If you type network and the IP address of the interface here, then you have to use 4 zeros. So wildcard mask, there is a concept called wildcard mask in Cisco. But now I can't explain how it actually works. But if you check how it wildcard mask works, you can get idea how this command actually works. Okay, so using the wildcard mask, we can there's some kind of flexibility that we can use wildcard mask and give the commands. This wildcard mask is used on ACLs as well. If you're familiar with ACLs, sometimes you may have come up with this wildcard mask. You can type the IP address, no problem, but then you have to change the wildcard mask. Here, 0 means must match, 255 means ignore. So what happened here? It will enable OSPF on any interface that start with 10.1.0. Okay,
Yes.
uh, any interface that comes to that margin 10.1.0, via the 10.1.0, it will enable OSPF on that interface. So this is it's a kind of a shortcut to enable in OSPF in multiple interfaces at once.
Okay.
Okay.
Do it again, same thing for that, no?
Yeah. Now you can see you have a neighbor established with the faculty one. Now you can see process one neighbor 10.1.2.1, the router ID, which shows you given to the router fac1 is there. If you go to the fac1 now, click on the fac1 now, it's behind this screen. You will see that also got a neighbor here 10.1.3.1. It shows this fac2's route ID and fac2 shows fac1's route ID.
This one 10.1.2.1, this
Yeah,
one 3.1.
yeah. Now you can see 10.1, 2.1 is shown as a neighbor on fac2.
Yes, this is
Okay.
3.1.
Yeah, fac1 says 10.3.1 is my neighbor. Okay.
Okay.
You can use this command. You go to the last line. You can view the neighbors using here. You can go to the
Yeah, fact
privilege
one,
one.
fact one,
Any
fact
any
two.
any 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 router, no problem. Okay.
Okay.
You exit from that one, that prompt, because you have to go to the privilege mode. Otherwise, you have to type do. Okay. Now here you can type show IP OSPF neighbors. Show IP OSPF neighbors. Type tab. No need of any. No. Yeah. Now tab. Okay. Enter. So it will show you who is
Yes.
your neighbor. It will now
Hmm.
you are in the faculty 2 and it shows you faculty 1 as your neighbor.
Yes.
Okay. So these neighbor relationships are very important to propagate the routing. Now you have to configure IPv6 routing, no? Is it in the fact2? Okay, some people have asked question about the domain name. Actually, domain name is not that much of a problem. You can give any name as the domain name. Now, if you use a number or anything, that's not problem. Now, some have used number one for that one, inst one ac.lk. That's not a matter. Okay, you can use because that is just a domain name to create the SSH keys. So for the second router also, you can use the same name that you have used for the router one. There's another question about this wildcard mask. I believe uh, uh, um, I have already answered the question. I believe you got the idea from that answer. So that is how wildcard mask is working. Especially wildcard mask is used to to get some kind of flexibility when we work with routing as well as ACLs. Okay. Okay, then you have to create the VLANs. So you have to go to the faculty one and create the VLAN first. You can ignore that command message because normally we are creating VLANs on the privilege mode, but here we are working with a router, so this is the way that you have to do it. Vijaykantan, you have to create 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 VLANs there. Okay, you have create only FAC1. Sorry, you are just create the FAC1 management, and there are another 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here, 0.
Actually,
2, 5.
0. Yeah, 0 is not needed. VLAN 2, VLAN 5, VLAN 10, VLAN 20, and VLAN 30. You have to create.
Five, no? Next.
Yeah, 5. Then name servers. First, you have to go to the VLAN database command. VLAN database, then
Again, we have to go to the AO. No?
You can continually create the VLANs.
Ah,
Okay, now VLAN, after that you can create VLAN 10.
head dot.
Then you have to go by one, interface 2, interface VLAN 2, interface VLAN 5, and you have to assign the IPs.
Mm,
254. 10.1.5.254.
254. Here you didn't mention about that IPv6, no?
IPv6, it's not enabled with the VLAN 2. Only other interfaces are configured with IP version 6.
Why?
For that department, IP version 4.6 is not used because that is it's for management purpose.
Ah, okay.
So you have to repeat the same thing for all the VLANs. Now you have configured VLAN 5, then you have to configure the information are in the table. Okay, now you have to configure interface VLAN 10.
10 to 54, 20 to 54, then
Yeah,
30 to 54 like that.
yeah. Likewise, interface VLAN 10, you have to go. First IPv4 address, then IPv6 address. Likewise,
10.
area is same, area 2.
This one 111 no?
Yeah, it is
110.
to, yeah, 1110.
Is it okay?
Yeah, 0.
Okay, no?
Yeah, then you have to go to the VLAN 20 interface. Interface VLAN 20. First IPv4 address, then IPv6 likewise, routing and 1120. Then VLAN 30. I think you have done a mistake there, Vijaykanth. IPv6 address is wrong. 1230 you type.
Yes,
Which,
but your table
yeah, sure. Okay, it's correct. Sorry.
it's correct.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. Do right. Then fact.
Then you have to create VLANs on FACT2. FACT2 has the different VLANs, VLAN 3, VLAN 60, VLAN 70 and 80.
Yeah, finish. Yes.
Actually, Vijaykanth, you have to create the VLANs also.
Sorry.
VLANs, before you create the trunk, now you are creating the trunk ports actually. But before that one, you have to create 4 VLANs.
Yes.
Same as the previous fact one, you can see there is a table is given. You have to create those VLANs. VLAN 3 you have to create, VLAN 60.
If I create the switch port mode trunk before create that VLAN, is there any problem?
No problem.
No.
But
Okay.
I thought that you missed that part. That's why.
Okay.
VLANs for faculty 2. That is what you have to follow. Not that one. No. Here.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
VLAN database, no?
Yes.
Database.
You have to go to the privilege mode.
Okay.
The command is VLAN database.
Database. databases, no?
Database, yes, enter. Then not interface, VLAN. VLAN 3.
But here we put like that, no interface VLAN 5 like that.
That is for after you create the VLANs only you can get the interface. First you have to create the VLAN.
Ah, okay, sorry.
Yeah, VLAN 3 name.
VLAN 3 name like that, no?
Yeah. First you have to create that one. VLAN 60. I hope others are also doing this according to the instruction. Actually, you can see after you type these commands using the arrow keys, you can easily navigate and you can change the what are the required areas, and then you can easily configure this one. Now you have to go to the interface VLAN. Interface VLAN 3.
VLAN 5.
Actually 3, not 5, 3.
Yes, 3.
Yeah, 3. Then IP address 10.1.3.1.
.1.3.1.
1.3.1.
3.1, no?
10.1.3.1.
3.1.
Yes.
Okay.
No IPv6 address for that one, and you had to go to the VLAN. Yes.
Then exit, no? That exit, no?
Yeah. Exit. Then you had to come up with VLAN 60. Interface VLAN 60.
60.
Type again interface VLAN 60 because the prompt change.
Okay.
You better check whether if you are configuring in a different one. Interface VLAN 60. Ten dot one dot
62.254.
yeah.
60.254.
254.
Then IPv6.
Yeah, for that one there's IP version 6.
One. 01. 2160.
Yes.
270.
Do right.
This is okay already.
Okay, then that is in faculty one, huh?
Yes,
It need to be done on faculty one.
but I have already done here, no?
Did you do here?
Yes.
So no problem. You go to the interface. What is the interface? Ethernet 01. No, go to the interface and we will undo that one. No switch port mode trunk. Maybe you have to redo it again, but for the moment we will do that one.
Okay.
Okay.
So
For the moment, yeah. Maybe you have to redo that one in the next configuration. We'll do if it is there. We have to. We can again convert into a trunk.
here, fact one. We have do in fact
Yeah,
one.
fact one. Yeah, fact one.
Has become brand, no?
Yeah, that's okay. There are some remaining commands you have to type.
I think interface, no? Yes.
Did you type that one? Switch port trunk encapsulation.1q.
No. Then put that description, no?
No, that is not a problem. Whether you put it in before that one, no problem. Then allowed VLAN.
1 to 1020, these VLAN are
Yeah, what are the VLAN that we
inside
have?
fact two, no?
Yeah. These are in the fact one actually.
This one?
These are default, it's created by the switches.
native VLAN 2. What is this? Run native VLAN 2?
Actually, when you get a router or switch brand new, the native VLAN is VLAN 1. So native VLAN means if you have study about these things, I think yesterday, Mr.
Default,
Lal, yeah,
normally default VLAN 1.
yeah, default native VLAN is 1. Native VLANs means if you participate yesterday session, I believe that Mr. Lanta has explained how about VLANs. There is something called VLAN tagging. When
Yes.
we talk about native VLANs, the tagging is not happening on native VLAN. So it means that the packets will not going to be tagged on packets that are going through the VLAN 2.
Yes. That's why you
Yeah.
change native VLAN 2, no?
Yeah. That is the
From
VLAN that
1.
we are, yeah, that is the one, that is the VLAN that we are going to as a management VLAN. Management
Yes.
in the sense
Yes.
to network administrators are using that VLAN to log into these devices and do the configuration.
Yes.
There was an error, but you can ignore that one. Everyone will get that error from said CDP for native VLAN mismatch. The reason to that error is because now we have changed the native VLAN to VLAN 2, but the other routers are still using native VLAN as VLAN 1. So that is why they are saying that there is a VLAN mismatch. So that error will be recovered after we configure all the devices, because we are going to change the native VLAN on the other switches as well. So then this problem is not there. So you can ignore that issue because after we configure other switches, other routers, this error will disappear.
So, okay, right. Fine.
Do right. Others also remember to save your configurations frequently. Otherwise, if you have any power problem, you have to go through that one again and again.
It's 115 connected to the monitoring server.
Yeah. It is always better to refer to the diagram like Vijaykantan is doing. Otherwise, you are doing this blindly. I think better to check always with the diagram and make sure that everything are in order.
distribution layer. Equal to
You can keep those windows open, no problem. While it is open, you can connect to the third router.
2002, no?
Yeah, it used 2002 telnet, other selected. Okay.
Hello.
Yes. So yeah,
I have done up to now.
yeah. So that you can see on the diagram, this switch has connected with some PCs. Okay. So yeah, that one.
This.
No
No.
PC. It goes to another switch. Okay. These are. You configure the FAC1 BLD FL2.
This is
That's
the.
right. Yeah. So yeah, it will connect to two switches. It go to
Yes. This
two
one and
switches.
this one.
Yeah, now you have to configure those PCs. Okay, so in Dynagen file we have connected them already. The only thing is you have to set up IP address for them.
For the
So
PC.
yeah, those PCs you have to set the IP addresses.
I think here. No. Here, no.
Yeah, VP simulator. Yeah, instructions are given. Let's go through that one.
Okay. This PC one means this
Here,
one. No?
yeah, PC1, that one.
Does IP?
Yeah, those are the actually switches. Now you are looking at the rest of the L2 network mean rest of the switches. Now there are some switches that indicate in blue color. You go to the diagram, not the PCs. Actually, those are FAC1, BLD1, FL1. Those are the switches. Those switches, the blue color switches.
So this one. This one.
Yeah. So on those switches, you don't have to do any configuration. They are already done.
Yes.
Yeah. So those are already done through the Dynagen file. Okay, in Dynagen file, you see that we have assigned those ports onto VLAN. Okay, so you don't want to configure anything on those layer 2 switches.
Okay.
If you look at that Dynagen file in Notepad, you will see those. Yeah, you can go to that one and right click and open with the Notepad. Yeah, you can see in the bottom of the file a lot of UDP ports are being given. Okay. Not the UDP ports actually. UDP ports for yeah, those switches are defined in the this one. Yeah. So you don't want to change anything. So you can see the connections are being done. FA1/14. So they are connected with the proper devices.
Yes. L1. Yes.
VLAN 10 likewise.
1B, no?
Yeah, 1B.
1B also connected. 7.
Yeah.
Here. 0, 7. E0, E7.
Yeah, you can see 0 is connected. Access 10 means VLAN 10.
Yes, VLAN 10.
Now
Access port. Access
yeah,
port, no? Access
yeah,
through the access port, VLAN 10.
Yeah. And you can see I have commented on that one, link to the VPC one.
You have commented.
Yeah, VLAN 10.
So this is VPC3.
Yeah, VLAN 20.
This is the IP, no?
Yeah, IP means it's local host that is connecting to VPC3. That is the because VPCs we are running on the same PC, no, local host. So I explained in the morning, when you are connecting VPCs, you have to go with the UDP tunnel. So that is the local port and the remote port. Once you run the VPC simulator, these are the ports that those VP. Now type on here show. You type show here. Now you can see VPC.
VPC3, no? This
VPC3. If you check the ports, Okay.
3002.
Yeah,
Sorry,
3000.
30,000.
Yeah, 30,002. No, you can see
Yes.
here. Here also I have
Yes,
used.
yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So that is mapped into that one.
Okay.
Okay.
Should I have to assign the IP for this PC?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Those instructions are given in the web page. You have to assign uh, IP addresses as well.
Yeah. Here, no?
Yeah, 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 yeah,
What is this? This is an example how to
yeah,
assign, no?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
PC1. Which one?
Yeah.
Then now go to the 3, no?
No, you have. Yeah, you can. No,
Open it.
you can go with one.
Okay.
No problem.
DNS L1. No. It's the domain name. The router domain name, no?
Yeah, DNS. Yeah.
Sorry, 01.
01. Likewise, you have to uh, assign IP for the others as well. Now, for the PC2, you have to type number 2, and you can go to the PC2. Then instructions or the IPs are given in the table. PC2, you have to.
To 21. No?
Yeah, 10.1.20.1.
This one 20.
Yeah.
Yes, this is changing, no?
Yeah.
DNS same, no?
You have to queue the subnet, the default gateway as also 20.
Oh, wait. IP
20.254.
this is also 20, no?
Yeah, you have to go with the same subnet for that one as well.
Okay.
Yes.
DNS same, no?
Yeah, DNS. Yes, you can use DNS, no problem.
IPv6 1120.
Yes.
1120. Pure one. Others okay, no?
No. Here also you have to change, no. So IP address you change the default gateway.
Wait.
IP also need to.
No,
That
this
is.
is a default gateway. What is the default gateway?
Yeah, that is correct. The default gateway is correct. You have to
One
change
one.
the.
Yes,
Yeah,
1120.
to 20 FFF. FFF is the last IP.
1120, no?
Yeah, that is correct. 1120. You have to change the same thing on the IP also. Here you have to type what is
Here,
that?
1120.
No. VPC2, no. 2401 DD002001. Then 1120. Yes,
Yes,
1120.
1120.
Yes. Then 3. You can go to the PC 3. 3 also start with 20. This 22.
That is 20, no? 20,
Yes.
this is 1, no? This is 1, 2.
Yeah.
2.
No need to change the gateway.
Gateway same.
Yeah. IPv6 IP also you can change this
1120.
2.
Plus 2.
2, yes.
Gateway same.
Yeah,
Here
all
2.
the others are same.
Here 2.
Yes. The fourth one also in the same subnet. It is also 20.
DNS same, no?
Yeah. The IPDNS. Command is IPDNS. Now you have to configure 4.
DNS.
That is also 20 IP. 20.3. Then IP version 6 IP. That is 23. 1123.
Yes.
Not there. No, not there. Not there. The IP. You are now trying to change the gateway. Change the IP. It need to be 3. No, not there. It need to be 1120, but the last need to be 3. That one. It is 30. Yeah, 31.
Here also 30, no?
Yeah, they are also 30.
Five.
11. Yeah, that 5. 1230.
1230. 1230. 230.
The IP
IP.
address also you have to change. 1230.
Sorry. But last one, 1, no?
Yeah, it is 1.
This one, 1. Here,
1230.
1230. 6.
60.1.
60. 60. 60, 2160. 2160. 2160.
IP also 21601.
160. 71. 7 227. 227. 227. 8. 80. No, 70. 2.
Yeah, but they are in the same subnet.
Yes. 227.
Just need to change the IP.
2. This one 2, no?
Yeah.
See. No, 9, no?
Right.
81. 81.
Yes, it's in the VLAN 80.
That
IP
one
need, IP need to be 81.
it also 124.
No, it's a mask, no. That is subnet mask.
Okay.
You change the 70 to 88, that's all.
Two two 80.
Yes, 2280. They are 22801. Save. Then just type show. Okay, so those are the IPs. Okay, whatever the IPs that you have assigned. Okay, now so you almost finish 90% of the configuration.
Yes.
Okay, you can open your VirtualBox just to check whether your Windows XP machine can connect with the router. You have to, oh yeah, we Windows XP inside. There is a question, PC3 directly connect to the FAC1 working, but other PC were L2 not working. Okay, we'll check that one. The XP will take some time for the first time to boot. After that, you can suspend that other than shutdown. Okay.
Take the time to start the VX.
Yeah, it will take some time first time. Okay. Okay. So you can check the IP address. Just check the IP configuration, IP config. Okay, so IP address 10.1.30.10. Okay, you can see it is assigned with default gateway as 10.1.30.254. So you can ping and check whether you can ping to the gateway. So that is the VLAN 30 IP.
30.1. This is DNS, no?
No, not to DNS. 30.254 gateway.
Ah, 30. 254.
Yes, it's working. It means you are now connecting to the FAC1. Okay, if you remember the configuration, that is the IP address that we have assigned for VLAN 30, I believe. If you can go to the FAC1 VLAN database, FAC1 VLAN. This is FAC2 VLAN.
Oh, yes,
FAC1,
yes, yes.
yeah, FAC1 VLANs. Maybe a bit below. There. Now you can see FAC1 VLAN 30. Yeah, that is the IP address. Okay, VLAN 30 IP, because inside XP is belong to.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, you can see inside XP according to diagram. According to diagram, you can see Windows XP inside is a VLAN 30 computer. So that VLAN 30 computer is connecting with the FAC1. Okay, so you have ping from Windows XP to FAC1 VLAN 30 interface.
FAC1 installed Windows XP, no? This PC1.
Not PC1. There is a.
Sorry. This PC2.
No.
PC3.
No, we are not pinging from virtual PCs. We ping from the Windows XP computer. Windows XP computer also connected to the. If you go to the diagram.
Here this IP, right? This IP under that VLAN, no?
Yeah,
30,
that's 30.
10.1.30.
30.
Okay, 24 that VLAN gateway IP. No?
Yeah, yes. So if you look at the diagram, you can see where the Windows XP is.
Yes, I got it.
The fifth computer. Before the PC5, you can see Windows XP inside. You can see that, no?
Yeah.
In the diagram. Go to the diagram.
This
Can
one.
you see Windows XP? You can see the Windows XP computer, no? There.
Here.
Yeah, that one. Now that is the computer that you are using.
Yes, yes.
It goes to the FAC1 through the FAC1 BLD2 FL0. It is connecting to the FAC1 VLAN interface.
Yes.
So it means your network diagram is okay. Actually, it's working.
Yes.
So if you want, you can check that one with the PC5 also. VPC5, you can try VPC. You can go to the VPC5.
PC5, this one.
Yeah, this one, and you can ping to the same IP.
How to check that?
Go to the VPC5.
5
Then
ping,
ping
no?
to the same IP. 10 dot what is 30 dot 10.1 dot
1.30.25.
or something like that, no? Here.
Yes, it's working.
Working. Okay. So you can check other PCs as well if you want. You can ping to other interfaces and also you can do that one. But for the moment, what I understand is your design is okay, because if you can check with one computer, it means it's working now.
Yes.
But I'm waiting for others as well, because others also need to come to this level. You don't want to shut down the PC. Don't shut down. Okay.
HP.
Yeah. Don't shut down. Better to save the machine state. Okay. When you close that one, you can
Save the machine state.
Yeah. So then next time you can resume that one. Otherwise, you have to restart it again. Okay. So what about others?
Is PC4 also connected to this router? Choice of each, no?
Yeah. So you can check what is the VLAN 20
PC4.
IP address. Then you can check ping to that gateway.
It's working.
It's also working because routing has been done. No?
Yes.
So it will work with any other PCs as well. So thank you, Vijaykanth, for sharing.
Yes.
Okay, I believe all of you have got the idea, and now he has configured everything that without any issues. Okay, and it's still working, and I hope others also can do the same thing, because I have continuously worked with for this nearly 2.5 hours. Now you can see it's working actually. If you go through the instruction that we have given, and if you follow the instruction, I believe everyone can do that one. Okay, so without come to this level, actually going for the firewall configuration and monitoring server configuration is useless. Useless means you can't do anything, because you have to connect from this Windows XP computer. Because you know that to check graphical to check a web server, web server, you have to have a web browser. So Vpcs does not have web browser installed. Okay, so you have to use this Windows XP inside computer to log into the web server, log into the LibreNMS monitoring server, and to the Ipv6 firewall as well, because all of those devices are command line. So you have to log into those devices using graphical interface with the web server, web browser. So if you have any issues with this network configuration, you can't connect to those servers, and you can't continue the workshop without having the this proper configuration on the network file. Okay, now I believe you have followed what I and Windows XP is pinging to gateway. That means it's a good sign. Okay, if your Windows XP is pinging to the gateway, means you can be happy because most of the time your configurations are okay. Okay, so you can check with the VPCs as well, virtual PCs, and try to ping to the devices and check. I especially mentioned Windows XP because that is the graphical interface that we are going to use for the remaining configuration that we are going to do with LibreNMS and pfSense. Okay. So if you have any issues with the this configuration, you better, because now this recording is there, recording will be uploaded. And if you couldn't follow what I and Vijaykantan has done up to this level, because he showed his screen, his desktop screen, he shared with us, and I believe almost all the commands he has executed you saw, and I helped him with whatever the mistakes he has done. So using the same video, I believe you also can configure this one. So if you have any issues, we can discuss them as well. But what I believe is, because you saw lively what Vijaykantan has done. So if you follow the instruction, means you can successfully complete this network design. Okay. So we have another 5 minutes, or 4 minutes actually, and not that much of time. So all of us need to configure this one. We have to complete this one to continue with the rest of the workshop. So any doubts or any areas that you need to clarify before we start the session tomorrow? Because tomorrow also we have allocated the first 2 hours to troubleshoot the network, because you can see tomorrow in agenda we have allocated the morning session for the same thing, for network setup, because there are a lot of participants are there. Now according to the replies that I have got, Vijaykantan and I can't see his name actually, okay, Mr. Okay, because it's not visible. Okay, so only 2 persons has replied, so they have done the configuration up to this level. So there are a number of participants are there, so all of you need to come to this level, otherwise we can't continue. So tomorrow morning session also allocated for the network configuration. So we will go through whatever the issues that you are facing. So after you completely configure this network only, we can continue with firewall configurations and monitoring server configuration. Even you can try that as a homework, because I know that I have to go to the home, maybe you don't have that much of time to work with this one. So tomorrow, first 2 hours, again, we can contribute for this one. And depending on the time, we can decide whether we are go with the firewall configuration bit earlier. Okay, we'll see. So then, do you have any comments or any feedback before we end up the session?
You said there is a recording video uploading into the system. So yeah. Can you tell me where can we find it?
I think Deepthi will inform you with the details. Now, currently this is recording. She will upload these things to the our Indico website, so the WS website. It will be informed to you via email. So after this recording is finished, we will extract that one, and we will upload as soon as possible. Yesterday video maybe already uploaded. Okay, so today one also we are going to upload. So meantime, if you have any queries, you can contact me with my number. So any other questions? Okay, so I hope this session is somewhat beneficial for you. I hope that whatever the things that we have discussed is, you got something out of that one, and it's whatever the explanation I have given is okay, and you understood that one. And so if you have any comments on that one, you better inform us either whether the speeds that I have done the workshop is very, if you feel like it's very, I have done it some quick way, or the things that I have explained is not understandable, please inform us so we can tune up ourselves and we can deliver the rest of the workshop according to your requirements. So hoping that you got understand all the things that we have discussed and you have configured the network correctly, and hoping to work with you tomorrow as well.
Geethika?
Yes, sir.
Geethika, can we get the status of their network? So up to what level they have done, if you ask them to put a small note on the chat window so that we can identify who got to that point and who are struggling and what point. And we just want to know the status of the work that they have done up to this point.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So as Mr. Heras says, now we have only 1 or 2 replies that saying that. So one is saying that Windows XP is pinging to the gateway. It means, as I told you, it is a good sign. So others also can, if you can give rough idea to which level you have configured the network, it's for us it is a good, because we can tune up ourselves to what to do from tomorrow onwards. So can you, before you leave the session, can you at least as a percentage, at least you can give us a feedback that will be helpful for us?
Like 25%, 50%, 75%, or 100%. I mean, up to this level, up to the point that Geethika discussed. Geethika, everybody got the dynamics running properly, or still?
Yes, the dynamics running. There were some issues, but they called me and Tuan, and we resolved those issues.
Right. For those who couldn't complete up to this point, so they can spend some time on overnight and try to complete the rest. No. So
yes,
that is going to be easy for tomorrow. Otherwise, tomorrow is going to be useless.
Yeah, sir. Okay.
So if you got any problem, even at night, you can call one of our instructor, Geethika, or one of our instructors.
Okay. Thank you very much for your replies, and we have got some replies, and I believe others also have done up to some extent. And hoping to meet you all tomorrow morning. We are going to wind up the session. Thank you very much for joining. Hope to see you, all of you, tomorrow morning.